Hi folks, and welcome back to our new grow. We've got about 5 hours today at the allotment. It's going to be slow work. It's really freezing. Today, a few bits to cover on the to-do list. The first thing first, and prepare. Let's go for a coffee. Oh, feels nice. I spoke to Tony this morning, plot owner. I spoke to him this morning and he asked me if I could plant a few bulbs for him. Still some bulbs sitting there that needs to go in the beds at the front. So I think we will be doing that. The main job I was planning to do, unfortunately, I thought I had my tools in the van. Unfortunately, I took some of them out, including the big lopper, which I need to chop down the fruit shrubs. So I think the fruit shrubs will unfortunately have to wait for another few days. You can see behind me the tomatoes are definitely gone now, so I think we will be chopping that up. The basil given up as well. Obviously the frost is now right here. There's the sunflowers can come out. Some weeding can be done definitely today. I will try. I'm not sure where the wheelbarrow is. Double check. I hope it's not been taken away. But there was a wheelbarrow in here, and I'm hoping to use that to put the bricks from the paths in between the two plots, two parts of the plot. Sorry, lift the path and um, yeah, just prepare, basically prepare all this area. Obviously, I don't have the loppers, so I will need to wait to do the chopping of the shrubs. We've got 4 fruit trees that need to go in the ground. Ideally, we've got some fruit shrubs that we need to buy, and I've got some strawberry plants at home, some runners, 2 years old runners that I want to bring in here, and that's the rain starting, so that's fab. It wasn't supposed to rain. Anyway, we've got enough to keep us busy. Um, so yeah, I think we'll start by working a bit in the greenhouse since it's raining just now. Bit of tidying in here, definitely something to keep us busy. Start chopping up very finely to put in the compost bed number 3. Let's crack on. So yeah, as mentioned, we'll just take, I mean, as you can see, they're completely done now, those tomatoes. So we'll just take the ties off, try to minimize the use of single-use plastic, but unfortunately this was actually the most convenient way of getting this done. So, you know, it's in comparison, that's 3 ties on each, so it's not an awful lot. But ideally, I would like to use twine I can just take off and hopefully reuse for a few years before it just decompose completely. So what we'll do is chop them off chop them off quite small in that tub, and then we'll take that over to the compost heap. We're just chopping from the base. We'll leave the roots in. These tubs will be left like that over winter. The compost will just be, in fact, yeah, it will be left like that over winter. And then I was thinking I'm gonna put it in the um, on the beds just now, but I will wait until early next year. It's although it's spent compost, it's oh goodness, the seizing a bit, so makes it quite difficult. It's quite good compost, although it's spent compost. It is good compost, so it's obviously been fed as well. So there's still definitely some nutrient in there that can be used. So no point to dump this. will use that in some of the raised beds, and I'm sure Tony will be happy. I will save him a bit of compost to buy in there as well. So yeah, that's the plan just now. There we go. So we've got our 4 tomatoes and the basil have all been emptied. As you can see, it's very rooty spent compost, but that's absolutely fine. I will do for filling up, and then everything's been chopped fairly small bits like that. I should really chop it even further down. But to be fair, I've done my wrist on a job a few weeks ago. It's a trap nerve basically on the wrist, and I'm really struggling with obviously my left hand to clamp properly. It's really sore at the articulation, and obviously the fact that this one doesn't come back and you've got to pop it back open makes it particularly difficult. So I will be fine. I'll be absolutely fine. That's chopped small enough. On the wheelbarrow. Literally just on the other side, I was just sitting there. For some reason, I thought it was a green one. And there used to be a cold frame in here, which I'm not even sure if it was silver. I don't even think it was silver. In fact, I wasn't even silver, but I don't know, for some reason I thought I was the cold frame that I could see, but I wasn't. I was the wheelbarrow. So it's there. It's so cold that even I had just under half of my coffee left, and it's actually cold now. So I've got to top it up. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Oh, feels good, a bit of warmth. Although it is warming up just now at 7 degrees, so we started off at 3 degrees an hour ago. The time I start filming, it was 5. And now we've got 7.7, 7.8. It's not too sure. It's going up and down between the two, but 7 degrees, nearly 8 degrees. Not exactly sure what to start with. I'm thinking that I might be cracking on, since I'm filling up the compost bin just now. I might be cracking on with this and just I'll go and get my proper secateurs in the van rather than those rubbish ones. The idea will be just now to chop off the dahlias and the sunflowers. They definitely are done for, so they need to be cut back for the dahlias, and the sunflowers need to be pulled out. Right, finish that coffee, and then we will crack on. Folks, I cannot tell you how childishly excited I am just now. Look at all those bulbs. Look at those bulbs. That's the reason why we clear the bit at the front, which you've just seen in the time lapse there. We've cleared the whole front. We did everything ready to be planted. And he asked me if I could plant some of the bulbs. I genuinely had no idea what was there, what was left. I knew they had got some bulbs, but I hadn't even looked in the box at this point, so I had no idea what to expect. So I thought, right, I'm finishing this. I'm going to have a coffee. I'm going to sort them out and see what I can do to kind of fill up the space. Plenty. Mostly, mostly tulips, We've got daffodils and tulips I will be using today. I've messaged him once I find out what there was in here, and I asked him, I said, do I have the authorization to go mad on this? And he said yes. He said yes. So we're going mad. We'll keep a few to put on the other side, which still need to be weeded. He's done quite a lot in there already, but along the wall, not so much in the rest of the area. There was still stuff planted in there, so I'll keep some at the side for this. Obviously, there's the allium cornflower and so on that will not be planted, and the other one that probably will go in there. But I will definitely keep some of the tulips as well to go in that bit. But I don't think we will do that today. We might be running a bit short on time, and to be fair, I still need to do the sunflowers, to discard the sunflowers. But I can't be bothered anymore weeding and all that I've done. Enough weeding, enough clearing for today. So let's have a bit of fun. Let's do some planting. Something that you need to check when you buy bulbs. It's obviously spring bulbs, but also summer bulbs, or autumn, winter bulbs, whatever. When you buy bulbs, the first thing you should check, because that's quite often, especially in places like Aldi, the Range, B&M, and so on. If you don't go in a garden center, the first thing you would need to check is how soft or how hard, more likely, the bulbs are. So in this case, they're very, very firm. So you give them a wee squeeze before you buy them. Just grab them. First of all, you try to look through. You can kind of see them through like this. You see them better than on the video, actually, by your eyes like that. So you just have a look at them, make sure there's no green or anything like that, or green as in like mold, growing on them. Obviously, if there's greenery growing on them, like the actual growth coming on them, you need to be careful. In fact, I will open this one just to show you. So, for example, this one start to have a bit of the flower coming through, the stem coming through. So it's still really firm, pressing really hard on it, it's still really firm, but there's this bit coming up. If you see this or even bigger than that, just be super careful. Buy it, absolutely, as long as it's firm, but do be super careful not to break this off. If you break this off, plant is done for the year to come. It will be coming back the following year, but you'll lose it for a year, so there's not much point to plant a bulb that will just wait another year and a half, 2 years before growing. So the first thing to check is this. Then, obviously, it gives you some information on flowering time, of distance between them, the height that they have to be, and the depth you have to plant them. I don't usually look at the distance and at the depth of planting. The reason is the depth of planting, and I will take another one that doesn't have any growth on, something like this, a fresh bulb. You count 3 times the depth. So that's 1, 2, 3. So this is it. About 3 inches and also 10 centimeter. 10 centimeter. That's as simple as that. 3 times the depth of the bulb. That's what you want to do with every single bulb that you will be planting. At least 3 times the depth. The other thing to keep an eye for is the way to plant them. You start seeing some roots coming up at the bottom and the greenery coming up at the top. So you want to plant them in the ground like so. Roots down, grows up. Makes sense. If you plant masses and masses, it will happen that some of them will be sideways or upside down. It's fine. It's not a big deal. The only issue that you will have is the plant. If it's upside down like this, the plant will have to use extra things to just push itself up and go up, and will make the plant the stem grow up later as well, but mostly will weaken the plant, which potentially means that it will be a lot weaker when it grows, and might not even get to flower the first year. It will take a while to get used to being in that position. So if you want the best growth, put them the right way up. Obviously, the ground needs to be workable, so it's best to plant them before they are a bit late to be planted. They should have been in the ground by now, but it's all not too late. The ground is workable. Obviously, you've seen we've worked it through. So I know that we will be able to plant this. So we're still fine. Really, mid-December would be really the latest that you want to plant them. If you don't get to plant them at this point, um, you still have a chance if it's tulips or later flowering. So tulips, for example, flower March to April. The daffodils will be February to April, roughly. Um, Snowdrops, for example, would be, or crocuses would be late January, early February. It's definitely too late, even in mid December, to sow those, to plant those ones for the following year. Plant them; they won't grow the following year, but they will grow the year after, so that's absolutely fine as well. But if it's later flowering, such as allium or tulips, for example, you can certainly plant them much later on, as long as the ground, sorry, is workable. You don't want the ground to be absolutely saturated in water either, because they will rot. But you still have a chance for the late one to plant them. If you have a nice day, maybe early March, you still have a small chance of planting them at that point if you've forgotten about them. Just keep them nice and dry in an airing cupboard or in a garage or somewhere where it doesn't freeze, where it's not damp, and where they will keep. Or if you have to keep them maybe in a shed, as long as it's dark, keep them in newspaper or something like that, just to keep the moisture level down and stop them from going all soft again once it comes to the point of planting them. Check that they are not soft, check that they are not covered in mold, and then you can plant them. The other solution, if you are short on time, or if you find them on the late, or if your ground is not workable at all at the time you come to plant them, is to put them in pots, but like the 9 centimeter pots, plant them individually in there. Obviously, they won't be exactly 3 times the depth and so on, but they will be planted deep enough. Plant them almost at the bottom, and then just gently, very, very, very gently, just get them out of there in early spring, very early spring. As soon as the frost is gone, as soon as the ground is workable, pull them out, and then you can plant them. It's not ideal to do it that way. It's best to plant them in the ground directly. Um, but if you don't have the choice, that's still a possibility. But for the display, for how it will look, it's best to plant them straight away. Reason is, and that's why I'm saying that I don't look at the distance between them at all. They tell you 10 centimeter, for example, those tulips 10 centimeter apart. So that's 3 inches or so apart. It's great, but if I put them 10 centimeter apart, it will look really sad. And when you see those, I mean, those displays like you see on the picture here, there's no way that they're 10 centimeter apart. I don't know if you can see the picture there, right here. They're not 10 centimeter apart. They're not 3 inches apart. They're literally right next to each other. Plant them in group, not on top of each other, but right next to each other. That's always the best way to plant them. So dwarf daffodils, tete-a-tete will go very nicely with the scented white mix. Very nice mix of color like this. So we will plant those ones in there. And in terms of the tulips, so we've got 12 pack just now. So I'm thinking we might use it, since there's some already on the other side and there's already more flower going. So I'm thinking we will do 8 pack. Let's do this. I'll put them all, not very interesting, so I'll do this off camera. Put them all in there. Then I'll get you over there and get them all shoved in the ground or thrown over the ground, and then we'll go and plant them. Give them all a shake. Actually, when I was tidying this, I've unearthed gladioli, so I'll just plant this one back in there. But giving this all a shake, and then just grab a few and then throw them about, just like then. There we go. We've got them all in there. We'll do the same as the daffodils, and then we'll be able to plant them.
A few moments later.
Just to give you a quick overview, this is all the bulbs we've got. So it's going to give us quite a good display, but despite having, well, it should be about 63, if I was right, 63 tulips and 24 daffodils, it is still not an awful lot. It's going to give us a good display. There will be other plants in there, and we will improve this, but it is not an awful lot. So definitely, thank you. So we could have went like 2 or 3 times that quantity, and that would have done a really strong display. It will be a good display, but it's not a huge amount either, if you know what I mean. So happy was that. I'll go and get the dibber, and then I'll start planting. This will be done on time lapse. If I can get the music on, it's a lot more fun to plant about 100 bulbs if I've got music in my ears. I think that will do for today. It's 1:15, so we've been about for just short of 4 hours now. Been quite a productive day. Obviously the greenhouse, the tomatoes have been pulled out. The compost has been filled. I've topped up with some of the cardboard as well. The front has been all weeded. All the dahlias have been cut back. Everything has been pulled out. Bulbs, definitely bulbs. About 90 bulbs have been planted today. The sunflowers have been pulled out as well. A few weeds as well along the way. But I think that's going to be about right for today. It's quite a good wee session. I wish I would have done more, but it's getting cold again now. The sun's hiding away, but it got a bit better. But it was really cold this morning. We are here for fun, so there's no point to push it too much. It's been a good session. It's good progress made today. Thank you very much for joining me. If you like the video, please put a like. I would really appreciate it. That would really help me boost the page. The more likes, the more comments, the more YouTube will be sharing this with everyone, and the more it will help the channel grow and motivated as well to keep producing content. If you're not following me yet, please, I would really appreciate if you can subscribe to the channel. Activate the wee bell as well, so you get the notification when new videos are coming up. That really helps the channel grows as well. So as always, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Take care.